possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I was on Facebook and I came across some articles about Candace Owens, and apparently Candace Owens is seriously thinking about running for president in 2024. And I just want to share my thoughts about this. As many of you know, I strongly oppose Candace Owens, in everything that she represents. She is nothing but a house Negro for white supremacy. She is a mouthpiece for white supremacy. She is a Aunt Jemami for white supremacy. And I'm going to do everything that I can to oppose this woman in every single way with every fiber of my being because she represents the worst in the black community. She is a despicable person. This woman, not only does she have these ridiculous views about black people, about her own people, this woman is also a Negro bedwench. So I'm just going to get into like some of the controversial things that she has done and said in the past. But before I even get to any of that kind of stuff, this woman is not qualified to run for president. She has never held public office. And we saw what happened the last time the American people voted for somebody that never held public office, and that's Donald Trump. That man was a complete disaster for the American people. That man was impeached twice. I mean, what more can people say? This is a man who did all these despicable things. One of the most despicable things that he did was help ignite an insurrection against the United States government, helped ignite the attempted siege of the Capitol, where you had people actually lose their lives. A police officer was killed. Police officers were injured as a result of what this man did. So it is a horrible idea to elect somebody for president who has zero political experience. This woman, at best, is just some political commentator. She has zero qualifications to be commander in chief. And I'm going to oppose her every single step of the way. And I can't believe that there are black people that actually support this woman. And I'm going to get into like some of the most controversial things that she has said and done, but this woman is no friend of the black community. She is an enemy of the black community. She has been used, as I said before, as a mouthpiece of white supremacy. She runs with white supremacist talking points, and because she is black, she serves as like a buffer Negro against charges of racism and all that kind of stuff. She is used to espouse racist views through a black body and through a black voice. So this is a woman who is a con artist as well. Like, this is one thing that I have to point out before we even get into like some of the controversial things that she has said. This woman has conned these people into believing that she's some kind of genuine conservative when she was a Democrat until 2017. She opposed Donald Trump early on. Like, she had all these negative things to say about Donald Trump, and then all of a sudden became some avid, strong Trump supporter. And, this is a woman who, while she renounces and denounces civil rights organizations, this is the same woman who relied on those same civil rights organizations when she alleged that she was a victim of some kind of racial harassment at her high school. So this woman is a clown. This woman is a hypocrite. This woman is a con artist. And she's conning all these conservatives into actually believing that she's some real, genuine conservative when she isn't. So here are some of the controversial things that this woman has done and said. For instance, this woman defended white nationalism. She went on to actually defend Hitler, by saying that if he desired to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, then fine. So she was basically co-signing Hitler, and then she later tried to defend her statements and stuff like that. And we all know about the history of Hitler, responsible for the killing, the genocide of Jews. They say 6 million Jews died during the Holocaust as a result of Hitler. And this is a woman, Candace Owens, who basically tried to defend Hitler and white nationalism. And we know about the white nationalist movement in this country, a movement that is anti-black, anti-immigrant, a movement that supports white supremacy. You have people like Richard Spencer from the so-called alt-right. You had these groups like the Proud Boys and all these other hate groups in this country. And this woman provides cover for these types of groups. This woman provides excuses for these types of groups, while at the same time, this woman attacks black groups that are fighting for social justice in this country, fighting to end police brutality. Another thing that she said that was controversial, she actually equated black people with chimpanzees. Like, this woman has made statements comparing black people to chimpanzees. This woman constantly suggests that black people are stupid, that black people are illogical, that black people are irrational and overly emotional and all that kind of stuff. These are the ideas, the negative stereotypes that she promotes about her own people. Um, this woman had the audacity to say that racism basically doesn't exist anymore, that racism isn't a real problem in society. In the face of all this racism that we see on a daily basis, in face of all this institutionalized racism that results in massive disparities in wealth, massive disparities in health, massive disparities in the criminal justice system, disparities in education. And then when we look at the policing in this country, how black people are disproportionately killed and targeted by police for harassment and all kinds of brutality. We've seen all these examples of black people killed at the hands of the police, unarmed black people killed by the police without any kind of justification at all. But yet and still, you have this Negro coon, this buffoon, talking about racism no longer exists. I mean, what the hell is wrong with this woman? She is a clown, she is a joke, and any black person that is seriously thinking about supporting this woman is out of their damn mind. So that's one thing that she said, that racism no longer exists. And while she defends these white supremacist groups, she attacks groups like Black Lives Matter, saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't really care about black lives and all that kind of foolishness. When Black Lives Matter is at the front line of the struggle to end police brutality in this country, when Black Lives Matter is the organization that has helped, or just the slogan alone has brought attention to the plight of black people and the issue of police brutality. They have been one of the most vocal groups and one of the most present groups in this fight to end police brutality. But you got this woman saying that they don't care about black lives. And she cited this example of, abortion, about how Black Lives Matter doesn't speak on abortion. And basically, that's an apples and oranges type of situation. Those are completely different issues. And to try to lump that into the issue of Black Lives Matter is just absurd. It's an effort to divert attention from police brutality. It's similar to the same argument that we constantly hear about what about black on black violence, where, basically they try to deflect and take the conversation away from the very real problem of police brutality and have people talking about the issue of crime in the black community. The issue is police brutalizing and killing black people with impunity. That's the issue that groups like Black Lives Matter has raised. And, the fact that they are raising that issue obviously expresses concern for black lives. The fact that they are telling people that Black Lives Matter expresses concern for black lives. And, the fact that we even have to say something like Black Lives Matter in this society tells you how far this society has to go before it will actually become an equal and fair, egalitarian society. So that's one thing that I had to say. And then, related to this issue of police brutality is this woman's, Candace Owens' response to the killings of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I mean, this woman put out these videos where she made these disparaging remarks about those two brothers, made these disrespectful remarks, basically dehumanized these brothers and basically justified what happened to these brothers and said that black people shouldn't be marching and protesting for these brothers. And this is typical. Like you have a lot of people that say things like this. A lot of these coons and these so-called black women's empowerment idiots that put out this false narrative and basically become the voice piece, the mouthpiece for like these police unions and stuff. Become the mouthpieces for the same white conservatives and white supremacists that justify killings of black people. It's like at this point, with people like Candace Owens, you don't even need white nationalist groups anymore because these types of buffoons, these types of house Negroes, these types of sambos do the work for the white supremacists. So that's one thing. And then, this woman had the nerve to say that black people are doing better under Trump. And that alone should disqualify her from being president. No black person should support this woman. I mean, black people weren't doing better under Trump. This is a man who deprioritized the issue of police brutality. This is a man who supported voter suppression, tried to suppress the black vote. How in the hell are black people doing better under a president that's trying to suppress the black vote? How are black people doing better under a president that's that fought affirmative action, that fought to end affirmative action, used the Justice Department to go against affirmative action? How is the black community doing better when Trump reversed a lot of the measures taken by the Obama administration's Justice Department to reduce mass incarceration in this country? How are black people doing better? Now, a lot of people will cite the unemployment rates, but when you look at the actual facts, you will see that the unemployment rate went down in the black community because of measures taken under the Obama administration prior to Trump even taking office. People can't even point to a single policy that this man has implemented that resulted in lower unemployment rates in the black community. So this woman, the bottom line is this, black people should vigorously oppose this woman if she decides to run for president. This woman should be a pariah, ran out of the black community. We need to stop inviting people like this to platforms. People like this don't deserve to share the stage with people that are genuinely concerned about the plight of black people. You got Revolt TV, for instance, who have given this woman a platform. Don't give this woman a platform. She is nothing but a mouthpiece, a puppet of white supremacy. So with that, I'm going to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and tell me what you think about Candace Owens running for president. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.